we have Wolfgang Moeller, who's the global CMI of Mast-Jägermeister, joining us from Austria. It really is like Eurovision when we have people coming in from Europe on the big screen. So we have Wolfgang on the big screen, and here actually on the main stage we have Lawrie, who is head of creative technology at Engine. Kim, can you take the stage? And Wolfgang, please take the big screen.
I love the nightlife. I've got to forget on the disco ride.
Right, over to you, Wolfgang.
Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me. I can't see you right now, but I'm quite sure that you have to look at my face at the big screen. So yeah, my name is Wolfgang. I'm the CMO of the Jägermeister brand. I'm based in Germany, so that's the reason why I unfortunately cannot join the conference today in person, which is okay. But maybe being a German, maybe it's better not to be in London today, because I think for us, maybe it would be a sad day, but that's a different topic. Let me quickly, one sentence about Jägermeister and why I'm here today. I think most of you know Jägermeister as the shot brand of choice when you go out. And a couple of years ago, we decided to go on a mission to provide consumers the best nights of their lives. And this is the reason why I'm here today, to give you a little bit of an example of what we did and what we do to kind of support the future of nightlife. I'm here today with Kim, and maybe you introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, thank you. So hi everyone, I'm Lawrie. I'm head of creative technology at Engine, part of the experience and innovation practice. And I was lucky enough to head up tech for the project that we're going to talk to you about today. The project is what we call Save the Night, and basically this talk is going to be about Jägermeister's response to the COVID-19 lockdown crisis, what we did, the lessons we learned, and how we feel the future of nightlife looks like in our industry. So to start with, take it away, Wolfgang.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I don't have to say a lot about the situation last year. I think you all are aware, and we're aware of what happened. I think an industry that already had some challenges before that was really hit hard. And for us, when we looked at it, it was more not only about our core business, but I think it was an entire industry with a lot of players involved that really struggled last year, and we had, we decided to take action. Next. So as a brand, yeah, exactly. So as a brand, really intrinsically connected to nightlife, we saw two major challenges. So one was obviously our core audience. They were just sitting at home, no social life, everything, and they really looked for something just for entertainment. And the other one, and this was the more critical one and the biggest challenge, that the entire industry, there was like an entire community really struggling making a living, because obviously, and we saw that in many countries, there was not a big lobby for the nightlife community, and we thought, hey, we had to step in and give a lot of support to those who make nightlife special every day and every night. Next. So what we did is it was kind of pretty basic. So obviously the thing was, hey, we have to bring the people that we know, the Meisters, as we call them, of nightlife, and give them a stage, give them a platform to do what they can do best, and obviously then utilize a platform, utilize technology to give them access to these audiences. And this is actually the entire idea of what we call the Save the Night initiative. Next.
Yep.
And yeah, this is kind of what we created in no time last year, this platform. And it was not so much a communication platform in the beginning, it was just a platform to really give support to the communities. And Kim will tell you a little bit about what happened and what the results were.
Great, thanks Wolfgang. So look, we were new to the online talent workspace, but we wanted to do everything that we could in as short a time as we could to get out there and help support the people who were so negatively impacted by COVID. And alongside a fund to support the Meisters, alongside a limited edition bottle of Jägermeister that you could buy online, and alongside so-called Meister classes that were available on demand, we launched with Meister Drop-ins, which was our online service where people could book nightlife talent to drop in and perform or entertain at their virtual online parties. And the way we did this was we knew, look, we had so little time to get out there and start helping people. So we started looking at the behaviors that people are already forming in response to lockdown. And we looked at the technologies that people were already out there using. And then we worked together to figure out how we could create as little as possible to tie those things together in order to get to market as quickly as possible. So this meant that we were able to get a prototype, fully working prototype, up and running in just under 24 hours. And as soon as we had sign off from the main team, we used the exact same code base, we pushed it as far as we could, and with all the teams that we were working with teed up, we went to our global launch in just under 3 weeks. And since the initiative launched, we started with one market. We wanted to just get it out there, get it working, but we were able to expand our reach, expand it across Jägermeister, and we now have 52 markets using the platform, and we've had over 1,350 Meisters, everyone from magicians to cocktail designers and creators to fashion designers. All of these amazing people will be able to take part in drop-ins on the platform. And, I think one thing that was really key to us as well was in moving really fast, we wanted to make sure that we landed right. We wanted to be able to make sure our reach was as wide as possible. We were helping as many people as possible. So we queued up the strategy and we built that into how we developed, which meant that literally, half the team was in one room coding, the other half was, teeing up and front-loading content strategy for launch. So by the time we actually launched, we got a lot of impressions really fast. We were able to reach a lot of people and generate quite a buzz. And then something else we thought was important as well in connecting the audience to our Meisters is that we wanted to give our audience the chance to show their appreciation too. So we built in the possibility for people to tip the Meisters and performers that made their nights fun again. And we ended up raising over 1 million euros, all of which just went directly through to the Meisters.
And obviously, looking forward is kind of, what have you learned? What can we take from that into like the current situation and obviously into the post-COVID world that we'll enter hopefully pretty soon. I think one key one, and I know it's pretty generic, Kim, if you want to switch to the next slide, is it's about real behaviors. And there's a quote, I don't know who used it for the first time, so I have to steal it. But I think, don't say you're funny, make me laugh. And I think this is especially in the today's world, when we talk in the marketing world about purpose and everything, I think it's really about your behavior, what you do, and all that stuff. You need to take action, and I think this is something we really did, combining the purpose with consumer needs, and then obviously tech that was available and that was helpful and that was not centered in the idea, but just helping to make sure that we got the idea across and supporting the people we had in mind. So I think this is something really, really important.
Thanks, Wolfgang. And he said it, I've said it, and I'll say it again. We had to move so fast. So we couldn't just build everything from scratch, design everything super bespoke. We had to look into everything that we could lay our hands on, libraries, services, etc., to plug in from one side to the other, which meant that we could move fast. So it's not about reinventing the wheel or coding a bunch of times. It's just about moving really flexibly. And I think what builds into this is that as a brand, your relationship with the consumer is the most important thing. And if you know what makes that relationship special, then you can work to play that out across all different kind of services and platforms, even if they're not the traditional places that people are used to seeing your brand. So by combining that with strategizing at speed and developing just as fast, we were able to get ahead. over to you.
So yeah, so to build off of that, I think it all, and this is coming from the marketing side, I think it all has to be based on a real consumer insight. And once you have a really strong consumer insight, then just build off of that and make it happen. And just because this is the stuff that matters now to your audience, and so you have to act quickly. And I think you can imagine, being a German brand, I think it was really a totally new learning field for us to really make decisions quickly and to reduce the power of the seafloor, but also give really power and enable the teams, but also the agency to make the calls on the fly. And I think this is definitely something that we want to keep. I think it's tricky, and I think it's looking pretty much at the culture of your organization as well. It's like, are you able to do that? But I think this is definitely something that you need. And at the very end, a little bit of bravery as well, because sometimes you cannot all base everything on KPIs, even though you have to have them. But I think it's just if you have a strong and relevant consumer insight, just go for it and make it happen.
Great. And the last thing is, I'm sure familiar to a lot of you, when you want to get that out in space, you've got to look at your MVP. So one of the first things we did when we planned was we took all our ambitions, all our future visions for this, so many things that we wanted to do, and we stripped it down to the bare basics of how we could get out there fast, and the first and most important thing that we could get out to the market to help people with. And then once we started doing that, we were able to kind of create these stages of how we're going to build on it and push it in future and evolve on it. And Wolfgang will tell you about that in a second. But I think my final point here is that, from the start, our ambition was to remain fairly agnostic about the future, because who knows what's going to happen. So our point was that we wanted to learn from people as they use the platform, learn from their behaviors, and just continuously evolve so that we can kind of respond really fast as soon as things start to happen or as soon as things change, just making sure that we're always there for them when nightlife is involved. Over to you.
Yeah, so at the very beginning, we kind of promised you to look into the future of nightlife. And honestly, I think nobody really can predict it. There are strong signs. And but the only way of doing that is really involve everybody who drives nightlife into decision-making, into your decision-making as a brand, and support these guys who really make an impact and are close to the neighborhoods, the cities, the communities that really make an impact. And I think this is something that we learned from the platform we created, and now shifting from Save the Night to Best Nights again is really involve the communities. And one example was in Germany, where we created a hackathon with key influential nightlife experts, nightlife city mayors in Germany, obviously people from the accounts, artists, DJs, and I think for brands and for us in particular, yes, we always have to keep our business in mind, but at the very end, the only job that we need to do is kind of support them and to really create this new type of nightlife, because I think we all agree that the combination of real nightlife and technology, I think this will shape any form of entertainment in the future, and we're happy to support that. So this is unfortunately no easy recipe from me for you guys today, but I think this is more, again, this is a behavior, how we act, and I think this is something we learned from the Save the Night campaign. Thank you so much.
That's it. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Wolfgang. Now, don't go anywhere. I just want to ask, 3 weeks to go live. That must take a lot of trust between, the brand and the agency. Talk me through that relationship. How long have you been working together, and how do you get to a point where you feel comfortable saying, yes, let's do this?
Okay.
Well, obviously we had a relationship beforehand, and there was a lot of trust. I think at the very end is you have in your relationship is you have to make sure who's doing what and where is the core competence. And obviously, especially when it comes to tech, and especially when it comes to all these platforms, I think we have no idea. And this is definitely something where we trusted our agency to do these things and to bring them to life. So I think most of that is really trust. I think the situation we had last year was very unique and will be unique in the future, because like there was everybody like, we have no idea, and everybody was kind of, we don't know what to do, let's try something. And I think we will, I think we cannot keep that spirit. I think it's going to be very hard, but I think this is really, be clear who's doing what, and then, combine core competencies and move on.
Can you still hear me? Great. So from the agency point of view, I think it looked so different for us as well, because obviously we were moving so fast. So we built these hybrid teams where we had literally the client sitting on our check-in calls. We were just whizzing decisions by, and it meant that, we weren't burning any hours we didn't need to burn. Sign-off was there, sign-off was present. And I think the presence of Jägermeister in the decision-making process, and then our ability to kind of fulfill what was promised pretty quickly, meant that we were able to move so fast. So yeah, I think that's
fantastic. And then I've just got a question as well that I'd like to bring up behind me, if that's possible. This comes from Charles. I don't know if you're in the audience, Charles. Feel free to stand up and take a bow if you are. I'm not sure if you're joining online. But Charles asks, be where your audience are is a great principle. In this case, was it where your Meisters audience are? Which platforms did you use? Twitch, etc.? Question mark.
yeah. I mean,
obviously, as a brand, we play all these platforms and channels. At the very end, it's again, not reinventing the wheel, but providing relevant content through the Meisters as we see it, and let them do their job as well, because like they are the best in reaching their audiences. And if you have these players that are embedded in the culture of nightlife, as for example, I think they know exactly what to do and how to mobilize their audience. And the good thing is, obviously, you want to have always branded content. You want to have visibility and all that stuff. We totally reduced it, and we felt it was time to really support. And then through the appreciation that we gave that support, I think that was a lot of effect and empowering effect of brand equity, for example. Obviously, we measure that, and we saw big results for that. So just let people do their job, have the network, and then obviously. Give everything a meaning and support the people that you care about as a brand.
Sound advice there, Wolfgang. Thank you very much indeed, Wolfgang and Kim. Please give it up for the guys from Jägermeister and Engine as well.